Howdy folks, it's your friend Fishing with Dom. Today I'm going to teach you how to tie a Snell knot to your flippin' hooks so you can connect with more fish when you're out there in the heavy mats, in the reeds, flipping for big old bucket mouth bass. Now first things first, I'm going to set the scene for you. To my left I have my flippin' stick, and to my right I have my flippin' bait of choice, my hook, and my weight. Already on my line, if I can weasel it out here, I have put a rubber bobber stop on there. You can pick these up at any local tackle store, weave them on your line. That's the first step to getting this job done. Second, you're going to take the end of your line and your weight of choice. This is just an ounce of lead. A lot of guys don't use lead. I flip a bit, but not enough to really invest in tungsten. So I will use a 1 ounce lead bass casting sinker, and I will get a pair of wire cutters, cut off the brass eyelet, or if you can get an ounce torpedo sinker just like this one, by all means go for it. You're going to take the end of your line and just weave it through the sinker, nose first, to where it's sitting just like that. Next, this is a pretty cool way to tie your hook, and I didn't know about it for the longest time, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Take your flippin' hook of choice. This instance, I got the Trokar TK-130 and a 4/0. My favorite flippin' hook, very, very sharp. There's a lot of great other flippin' hooks on the market. The Berkley Fusion, I really dig the eyelets and the quality of the metal they use. Pretty sharp also. But between the two hooks, I really, really dig the bait keepers on this one. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to snell it. You're going to take the hook, just like this, and you're going to take the end of your line and put your line through that eyelet. There we go. You're almost done. Let me slide my weight down real quick just so it doesn't get in the way. Look at that. You're almost done. Second of all, you're going to try to give it maybe 8 inches or so. And hold the hook just like this with your right hand or your dominant hand. And then run, if you're holding it with your right hand or your dominant hand, take your tag end, grab it, and then hold it tightly up against the shaft of the hook to where it's just like that. You'll take the tag end, and from then on, you see this extra space between the bait keeper and the eyelet. You're going to wrap this tag end around that little bitty space a few times, 4 or 5 times if you can, definitely. A lot of hook companies who manufacture these flippin' hooks, that's what that extra space is for, so you can snell your knot perfectly. And so we're just gonna catch the top of that bait holder, wrap it twice, 3 times, and 4 times, and then you're here. Now if I lost you already, don't be ashamed to go back, rewatch the video, or go back the past 30 seconds. But you'll take this tag end, put it through that loop we made earlier. It's a little tricky, it's kind of slick. There we go. You're just going to pull on it. Pull on your main line. Make sure your loop sinks up to your knot, and you're pulling on both ends equally. There we go. So, fix that. Your main line, pull her tight. Your tag end, make sure that's nice and snug, and then you could really wrench down on it, and boom. You've got yourself a nice little snelled flippin' hook. We're going to take our trusty scissors, trim that tag end. You always got to test them to see if they still work. And we'll cut it right there. Oh, these are garbage scissors. They don't cut super line that well. As far as the line goes for flipping, I'll run a 50 or 65 pound braid. Something very, very strong. I could bring in a whale if I needed to. Suffix 832 or the trilene braid. good stuff. Sometimes I'll flip with a heavier fluorocarbon, but that'll be from time to time. But there you go. If I didn't explain this clearly enough, or if I should have held the camera at a different angle while I was wrapping it, let me know. I'll try my best to refilm it if you would like, but this is a very, very simple knot, and I know how much I used to struggle watching knot videos, but hopefully that's not the case for you. And the reason why a lot of bass anglers snell their rigs is because when that weight hits that hook, let me pull her down and I'll show you. That hook pops up just like this. If you're throwing it into the brush, into the weeds, this weight breaks the surface of the water, goes down. When you pick up on it and that weight sits down on the slack, it's going to position your bait upward just like this, so that hook point is already up. When that bass hits, it's game on. If it's just in line and tied to it like a standard Palomar knot, you don't exactly know how that fish is going to hold it. But when you're picking up on it, giving it the flip, that weight is going to sit right on top of that eyelet, that knot, and that bait keeper, and that's what that fish is going to hit. You're going to feel that slight tick, and you're just going to hammer them down. But that's my flipping setup. Generally speaking, I'll put about an 1/8 of an inch above my weight to my my bobber stop right here. Give it a little bit of action, and then you'll just take your flipping bait of choice. I'll talk about a whole bunch of my favorite flipping baits later on, but snell your flipping rigs. And my Michigan anglers, if you haven't tried flipping, try flipping. Like, this is something nobody up here is doing, and it's just unbelievable. You think, oh, that's a southern thing, we don't need to do that here. We have mats and reeds and timber and lily pads and all sorts of thick stuff bass could be living in. So don't be afraid to drop it where nobody else is fishing. Right, so you pick up on it just like that. Bait's going to be positioned up, and hang tight. You're going to have a bass come by, no problem. Snell your hooks. Learn how to snell. Rewatch this video if you need to. But all in all, the Trokar TK-130, the Berkley Fusion hooks, my favorite flipping hooks. If you have any other recommendations for hooks, let me know. I'd really appreciate that. But if you have any recommendations for video ideas in the future, I'd really appreciate it. You can holler at me on my social media handles, at Fishing with Dom on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or you can let me know in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching my videos. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys are the people that keep me going. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Take it easy and goodbye.